Hello, everyone. We are here today with Russ Jerem from Jackson Lewis. Russ, you're an attorney with Jackson Lewis. I know you're going to share a little bit about what Jackson Lewis offers, but also kind of how you've shifted and pivoted in the last 6-7 months to help support your clients and restaurants and the hospitality industry in general, as we're facing some new, unique challenges during the pandemic. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Russ, if you can let us know what you offer. And we're happy to have you as an allied member of the CRA. You're definitely a strong advocate for our industry here in Connecticut and also nationally. So take it away, Russ.
Great. Thanks, Yvette. Glad to be here. Happy to let everybody know what we can offer. As Yvette said, my name is Russ Jerem. I practice with the Hospitality and Restaurant Industry Group at Jackson Lewis. We're a labor and employment firm that advises on all aspects that you might think be necessary in the restaurant industry. So we're talking about preventative wage and hour strategies, guest relations, employee relations, all of the things that might come up in the absence of COVID. Clearly, as all of us we've had to change our approach, both in terms of how we communicate with our clients and what we're communicating with them about on a day-to-day basis. So we've addressed that in a couple different manners. We have put out more hours of webinar programming and more lines of text in blog posts that talk about all aspects of how to respond to COVID. And I think that's really what our goal is, particularly with our restaurant clients. We know you guys are busy. We know you guys don't have time to look at all of these particular issues. And you want to know how to respond in a quick manner. You don't want to spend a lot of time on the call with us. So we put these out in a lot of easily digestible formats, like I said, FAQs, webinars, blogs, to try and provide you with quick information about how to respond and what programs you can take advantage of. We put together a COVID-19 advisory page, which talks about all the restrictions that Connecticut has put into place, how they've been modified. We have monitored all of the information, including the fantastic information that the CRA has put together about what the expectations are and the communications with Commissioner Lehman of the DECD and Scott's conferences as well, and package that all together so that we're able to respond and assist in a quick fashion when people come up with questions.
Russ, we were, sorry to jump in. We were speaking before about, I asked you about, obviously a lot of the work that you do is sort of on the preventative side, but how can you help if a restaurant or a hospitality business, something COVID related comes up? How are you then able to support our restaurants?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a call that we've unfortunately received quite a number of inquiries on. And really, it's about analyzing exactly what happened and then taking a look at what the exposure is. I mean, is it a guest coming in without a mask and refusing to wear one? How do we address that? Is there a public relations component that we need to address? If it's a server that has tested positive, how long do we have to shut down for? Who do we have to notify? What are our obligations? And as you were saying, a lot of that has a preventative component. We worked with a number of clients to develop those protocols in advance, so they don't even have to call us. It's already there. It's in their playbook to address that immediately. And then they can come to us and say, okay, what we thought might happen happened. Worst case scenario, what are we looking at? So that's really the approach that we're taking, is weighing all of this information before it even gets to the clients, putting together a playbook for them, and then in the event that it comes to pass, trying to figure out what our response is going to be on an individual basis.
Very good. Yes, as you mentioned, unfortunately, we do get those calls now and then as well, and it's good to know that we have members like you that are supporting our restaurants through this time. Russ, you Jackson Lewis are available in all parts of Connecticut?
Yes. Yep. We have a statewide practice, and our resources aren't limited to Connecticut alone. We do have a national presence, and we work pretty closely with the National Restaurant Association as well as other state restaurant associations. And so to the extent that there's any question about how other states are handling things, or federal guidelines such as the Family First Coronavirus Response Act or the CARES Act and the application to the restaurant industry, we have a number of individuals that are focusing just on that and can provide assistance as well.
Okay, thank you. And I've got your contact information here on the screen. So if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to you here. I see a phone number and an email. Is that the best way to reach you?
Yep, email is usually best, particularly since we're mostly working remote now, but that number does reroute to my cell phone as well. So I'm accessible.
Okay, and I know Peggy Strange is in Connecticut as well, correct?
Yes, Peggy's another great resource, and we have a number of them. David Golder, who's on wage and hour issues, just put a webinar together on Friday talking about the new Department of Labor regulations and how to fall within the protections of them.
Okay, very good. Is there anything else that you want to share with us? Or we've got I mean, that was a pretty good overview of the support that you offer our restaurants here in Connecticut. Is there?
The only thing that I can say is, we try and keep the information pretty quick and to the point. We know that the restaurants have enough on their plate right now to not be worrying about all the legal minutia. And so recognizing that, we try and get to the point and let them focus on the operations.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very much appreciated. It's a lot of information. It's a lot to know. And when something hits, it's kind of like, who do you turn to? So it's good to know that you're there supporting your clients and a support to all of our restaurants across Connecticut. So Russ, I appreciate you being here today. We're going to share your contact information on the previous screen. We'll share that in your video post, and we appreciate you being with us today.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.